I was in the middle of making dinner. Nothing fancy, just something quick after another long day at work, when my phone buzzed on the counter. At first I ignored it, but something told me to check. Maybe it was instinct. Maybe it was just the silence in the house making the vibration sound louder than it was. It was an email from Mark, my husband. Subject: I'm sorry. I froze. My heart pounded as I tapped it open. The words felt like a slap. Lisa, I know this is sudden, but I've left. I've met someone else. She's younger and I feel alive again. I'm sorry, but I need to do this for me. Also, the loan for the business. It's under your name, so please take care of it. I'm sure you'll manage. I won't be reachable for a while. I reread it once, twice. It didn't make sense. My knees buckled and I grabbed the counter to steady myself. This couldn't be real. He left me, just like that, and stuck me with a $30,000 loan. My name is Lisa. I'm 38 years old. And this is the story of how my husband shattered my world in one evening, and how my 12-year-old son Noah stepped in to help put the pieces back together in ways I never expected. Mark and I had been married for 14 years. We met in college, built a life together, raised our son. Sure, we had our struggles, money, stress, his string of failed business ideas, but betrayal? I never expected that. 2 years ago, we took out a loan so Mark could start a home renovation business. His idea, his dream, his credit wasn't good enough, so I signed for it. For us, he said. Now I was the one left holding the bag. He didn't even say goodbye to Noah. I checked the loan that night. It was still active. We were already behind on payments. I felt sick. I barely touched dinner. Mom, you okay? You look pale, Noah said. I forced a smile. Just tired, sweetheart. He tilted his head. Is it because Dad's not home? He hasn't been around lately. I nodded slowly. He went away for a while. Noah stared at me. Quiet, observant, wise beyond his years. Is it that other woman? I saw a message once. Her name started with an L, right? I gasped. You, what? Few weeks ago. His phone was on the counter. I didn't read much, just saw her name and a heart. I sat down, stunned. My son had known before I did, and he'd stayed quiet, maybe hoping, like me, that it was just a phase, a mistake, something that would pass. I'm sorry I didn't tell you, Mom. No, honey, that's not your fault. He looked down at his plate. I hate him. Noah? I do. He left you. He left me. What kind of dad does that? I didn't have an answer. The next few days were a blur. I went to work, barely functioning. Nights were worse. I'd lie awake staring at the ceiling, seeing that email over and over. $30,000 gone. Just like that. And then Noah did something I never expected. I found him in his room, typing furiously on his laptop. What are you up to? I asked. He looked up and smiled a little too confidently. Fixing something. Fixing what? You'll see. Don't worry, Mom. I'm taking care of it. I laughed tiredly. Taking care of what? You'll see, he repeated. A week later, he called me at work. His voice was shaking. Mom, something happened. I didn't mean for it to go this far. Can you come home? Now? My heart dropped. What's going on? Please hurry. When I got home, Noah was already on the porch, pacing. He ran to the car as I pulled in. You okay? You sounded terrified. What's going on? He led me inside, biting his lip, nervous. My laptop was open on the table. Did you email your dad? He winced. I used your email, pretended to be you. You what? I thought, if he thought it was you, maybe he'd respond. I told him the loan company was threatening legal action, that it might be investigated. I thought if he believed that he'd come back, or at least send money. I sat down, stunned. Noah, that's serious. I know, but it worked. He replied. He showed me Mark's response. What the hell are you talking about? Are you threatening? Me? You signed the loan. Don't blame me. You'll regret this. Then, a second message. From someone else. A woman. Celine. Lisa, you're just bitter because you weren't enough for him. He's happy now. Maybe try therapy. I stared at the screen, anger boiling in my chest. This is the woman he left us for, I whispered. Noah's face was pale. I replied again. I told her I was your friend, said the police might get involved. I wanted to scare them. That's when things went wrong, Mark called. Not emailed, called. Noah answered without thinking. Mark heard the silence and said, Lisa. Then he laughed. You must be Noah. You've got guts, kid, but you're playing a dangerous game. He hung up. My stomach turned. You shouldn't have done that, baby. This isn't something you should carry. I couldn't watch you suffer, Mom. I had to try something. I pulled him into a hug. You're not supposed to protect me. That's my job. The next day, another email came in from the loan company. Final notice, 27,438, 75, legal action pending. I felt sick. Noah, I said quietly, we're in real trouble. He looked up at me, eyes sharp. Then let's make real trouble for him. He showed me something else, a GPS location. His phone's still connected to our family account, Noah said. He's in a place called Harborview, 2 hours away. He's there, with her. I stared at him, then nodded. Okay, we're going. We're not letting him get away with this. We arrived in Harborview the next day, quaint, sunny, picturesque. It made me sick. We spotted Mark and Celine outside a cafe, laughing, holding hands, living, and we were barely surviving. I snapped a photo for evidence. That's when he saw us. His smile disappeared. Mark started walking toward the car. Fast, my heart pounded. I grabbed Noah's hand. Get ready, I said. This is about to get real. I couldn't quite read the look on his face, part anger, part disbelief, maybe even fear. But one thing was clear. I was done being the victim. Before Mark could knock on the car window, I stepped out. I stood tall. Noah stayed in the passenger seat, watching through the windshield, silent and alert. Well, this is unexpected, Mark said, folding his arms. Are you seriously following me now? I met his gaze without flinching. We need to talk. Right now. He scoffed. Lisa, this isn't the time or place. I'm in the middle of something. Oh, I'm sorry, I said sharply. Did I interrupt your beach date with the woman you left your family for? My mistake. His jaw tightened. Keep your voice down. No, I said louder this time. You don't get to dictate anything anymore. People on the sidewalk began to glance over. Mark noticed and stepped closer, voice lowered. What do you want? I handed him a folded piece of paper, a copy of the final notice from the loan company. This is in my name. He left me with his debt. My son and I made sure he paid. The debt you walked away from didn't disappear just because you did, I told Mark, handing him the loan notice in my name. He glanced at it, smirked. You signed for it. That was your choice. No, we agreed. It was for your business, and now you're using it to fund your beach trip with her. Before he could argue, I cut him off. I have proof, receipts, tracking, photos. You're not invisible. That's when she stepped out of the cafe. Celine, holding 2 iced coffees. You must be the wife, she said, eyeing me. And you must be the reason my son had to grow up faster than he should have, I replied. She rolled her eyes. Mark was miserable with you. He told me everything. I pulled out my phone. Did he tell you he emptied our savings? Left his 12-year-old behind? That he's being investigated for fraud? I showed her emails from the loan company, a photo of the B&B they were staying at, booked with my credit card. That coffee you're holding? I paid for it. Hope it tastes like guilt. Celine turned to Mark. Is this true? He panicked. It's not what it looks like. It's exactly what it looks like, I said. This isn't about drama. It's about consequences. Mark stepped in, lowering his voice. You wouldn't really go to the police. You don't know who I am anymore, I said, and you underestimated our son. That's when Noah stepped out of the car, calm, steady, holding a folder. I organized everything, he said, handing it to me, for the lawyer. Celine blinked. Wait, how old is he? Noah stared at her. Old enough to know abandoning your family and stealing money is disgusting. Silence. I flipped to a demand letter. You have 72 hours to repay what you owe. If I don't see movement, I'm going to the police. Mark hesitated. Don't test me. We're done playing nice. Noah and I walked back to the car. We didn't look back. 2 days passed. Nothing. On the third, my phone rang. It was Mark, panicked.